Turning now to President Obama's latest fiat on illegal immigration, there are now two efforts in Congress to block the president's new order from going into force to change immigration enforcement. This is a new study from the Pew Hispanic Center finds the number of illegal immigrants who will move to the front of the line as a result of the president's decree is closer to 1.5 million. Almost double the president's stated 800,000. And, of course, this is not particularly helpful to the president's position on this issue. Those 1.4 million people, by the way, would move ahead of 4.6 million people who are legal, going through lawful legal channels, awaiting for citizenship and legal residency, according to the State Department. In 2010, and by the way, that's the latest year available, 482,000 visas were issued. The U.S. Center for Immigration Studies says it takes at least 5 years to obtain citizenship, and there are 1.8 million immigrants entering the country every year legally. Joining us now is Kris Kobach. He's the Kansas Secretary of State, co-author of a number of the state anti-illegal immigration laws. Kris, good to have you with us. Let's turn to first the decree itself, this bureaucratic order calling for prosecutorial discretion on the part of Homeland Security. Your reaction?
Well, my first reaction is what you've obviously heard other people say. You covered it yourself on the show last night, and that is that it's not prosecutorial discretion. It's a legislative act. This is an amnesty. Prosecutorial discretion is where you look at one specific case, right, and then you say, in that case, there are extraordinary circumstances, we're not going to enforce the law or we'll prosecute for a lower crime. This is a usurpation of Congress's power to pass the DREAM Act or not pass the DREAM Act. But there's another point I want to make, and this is one that I don't think any program on national TV has covered, and this will be the first one tonight on your show. Right. Many people have missed this. There is a provision in federal law that specifically prohibits this kind of prosecutorial discretion. In other words, President Obama's administration is breaking federal law. It's found in a subsection of Title VIII, Section 1225 of the U.S. Code. Admittedly, it's buried in there. It was passed as part of the big Immigration Act of 1996. But it says very clearly that the president's administration cannot grant this sort of amnesty or cannot refuse to place in deportation proceedings an alien in this situation. He's illegally in the country. So not only is the president usurping congressional power, right, he's breaking federal law.
Now, what is the statute again?
Title VIII, Section 1225, and there are two subsections in there that work together to make clear. See, Congress was worried back in '96 that Bill Clinton, they didn't think Bill Clinton was aggressive enough in his deportation of illegal aliens. So they said, when at that time INS comes into contact with an illegal alien, they don't have discretion whether to say, well, maybe we'll deport you, maybe we won't. You must place him into deportation proceedings. And this administration is breaking that federal law that Congress passed in 1996.
Am I incorrect that the 96 law also, though, did provide for certain instances in which an illegal immigrant could be held in the country rather than being deported pending a resolution of a number of cases, so long, it was certain conditions, including a family member being either a legal resident or a citizen of the United States. Is that correct?
There are specific ways in which you can get relief from removal. It's a cancellation of removal. So, but again, it requires ICE to go ahead and put the person in removal proceedings. And then, yes, under extraordinary circumstances or maybe a humanitarian concern, there might be a place where the immigration judge or the administration can give that person relief from removal. But again, the law is very clear. You have to place that person in removal proceedings.
Pulling ourselves a bit out of that legal thicket, and we appreciate you bringing it to the country's attention and to ours. What are we going to do about it? The fact is, I've talked to a number of people in Congress who really have, we know that Congressman Quayle, Congressman Schweikert, introducing legislation to block the president's decree or order for prosecutorial discretion. But there really seems to be little that's effective as a response on the part of either Congress or anyone else to the president's use of his presidential power.
Yeah, and I think this whole episode illustrates that when you have a president who's abusing power and who's usurping congressional authority and breaking federal law, in some circumstances, the options are going to be limited. Our founding fathers created a constitution and a republic which envisioned some level of adherence to the rule of law by elected office holders. Where you've got a president who's saying, I'm just going to take that whole category of law and I'm not going to enforce it against 1.4 million people, that's something that you're right. The options are limited. I think Congress can deny the appropriation of any funds to be used in the furtherance of the president's order or the Department of Homeland Security's directive. Another option is that they could try to pass legislation. Of course, the U.S. Senate and the president would try to stop that. And of course, there's recourse to the courts. But even that is not
nothing's going to happen before Election Day. To that end, and we're out of time because I've got to ask you this because you're counseling Governor Romney on the issues of illegal immigration. At this point, we have not heard much from Governor Romney. And the statements that we've heard from, potentially a vice presidential candidate, Senator Marco Rubio, have not exactly been, stern stuff or robust in their content. What are we to make of that? Is there a split here in the Republican Party? Is the party paralyzed on this issue? What's the deal?
What I make of it is that the president launched this on the nation just a few days ago, and many people are trying to figure out, okay, what is he doing exactly, and what does he have the legal authority to do?
Can I help them? Let me help each one of them. Well, he has just told them all, Republicans all, I suppose, to go to hell, and he's going to do it his way. And if there's any sort of interpretation I can help anyone with and counsel to the party, I'd be delighted to. It's straightforward. There seems to be a paralysis within the party as to how to respond to this.
Well, you could say paralysis. A more charitable way to look at it would be they're trying to get the facts straight. I hope they get the law straight and realize this president's breaking the law. It's as simple as that. And once they realize that, it's time to say, okay, enough is enough.
Thank you very much. And Kris Kobach pointing out that it is Section 8, 1225, and you said two references to the fact that the President of the United States and the Department of Homeland Security simply are required to move ahead with the process of deportation. And therefore, he's in violation of the law. Kris, thank you very much for being here. Kris Kobach, Kansas Secretary of State.